On today's episode, we catching flights and not feelings. We got a special guest who's going to tell us why you should be tripping. We going to talk about who be tripping, and then we going to post where we been tripping. Coming to the studio for the next episode, this is Every Woman.
Queens over here, and make no mistake in big things over here. Goddess in the flesh, you can tell by the smell of it. Every time I step in the room, it's an elephant. Woman.
Welcome back to Every Woman Wednesdays, where we are going on a trip. What up, ladies?
Hey. What up,
we all got on our vacation vibes right now. Hey.
I just got the sunglasses on.
You just got the sunglasses on? I mean, you a star. You shine bright. You got to block all these lights. But listen, we are going to start this show off with something non-vacation related. We got the question of the day.
Question.
The top 3 things men do to ruin
getting the pom-pom.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
Thing number 1, asking for it. Don't ask.
their hygiene. Like their breath may be a little bit intense.
Your breath smell like hot ass garbage.
Stinking. Put on some clean socks and quit playing.
Lying.
That is really hard to deal with.
Dirty fingernails, okay?
They don't know how to eat it right.
Like, oh my God, he needs a mint.
When your shoes look like biscuits.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't bite. No.
Being cheap. Knock it off. You can get more money, but it's only one me, baby.
Talking about themselves so much, just like all the things they have and, you know, how great they are and how much money they have, it makes me think that they have a small penis.
Them bitches is bubbling at the top. Okay?
Looking at other women while we're on a date.
Not treating me like I'm a superstar. Because I just feel like if you, what did Lotto say? Something like, treat me like you're my fan or something like that. I feel like if you're not like giving me enough, I just feel like
Garbage, okay? Off the top.
All right, so how y'all feel about these zaddies, these old men having babies with these young women?
Better than
How old
me.
is old?
82.
Ooh. That's somebody's granddaddy. Ooh.
So listen, y'all, Al Pacino is having a baby, unexpectedly, I believe, with his 29-year-old girlfriend due in June. This is going to make baby number 4 for him. And his children are not happy about it. How would y'all feel if y'all granddaddy was baby? I'm just saying.
Interesting.
Please don't leave me out the trust fund. Okay, as long as it doesn't cut my trust fund portion, I think, you know, and as long as he can afford it. That's the key. Like, if he's gone, will there still be money?
Of course we know
to
he
take
can
it?
afford it.
So
It's Al Pacino.
See, it's the ones that's not Al Pacino, right?
Okay.
That's important.
Okay.
I thought you started shooting blanks after a certain age. How do we know
Girl,
for
no.
sure that
No. Listen,
this
I thought it was
is-
coming out like
this
baby
is
powder
that?
too.
Men have no biological clocks. Baby powder. Right.
Like that. Yes.
I thought it was like powder or
It
something.
ain't, if it come out like oatmeal, that's something wrong. Oatmeal.
That's lumpy. If it's coming out like that, I don't want it.
That's worms.
I don't know. But what y'all think about this? This is an 82-year-old man who's having a baby with his 29. Did y'all hear me? 29. Like
Speaking freely.
Speaking freely.
I'm chin checking her because what you trying to get up out this old man? Okay, we're pinching some settle-ins. You trying to get in where you fit in. You looking for the dividends.
Exactly.
All
And I think
the
that's probably-
coins, the dollars.
It's nasty.
Yeah.
I
Well-
think that's why his children may be upset, not necessarily because there's a child that he's having. It's because this is what this 29-year-old, quote unquote, in their eyes, probably hoochie mama.
She is young enough to be his granddaughter.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So shortly after he announced that he was having a baby in June, Robert De Niro, who's about 79 years old, is having.
Is he still fine?
I don't know.
He go granddaddy. Okay.
He could be a zaddy. I don't know. But he's having a baby with his 45. It's speculated that she's 45. Like, you know, if you do the math on some things, she's about 44, 45 years old. Okay. But you know, that's still a 30-year age gap. You know, at 30, I had 2 kids. You know what I'm saying? So, but they actually just welcomed a new baby on April 6th.
Oh wow!
Her clock
Shout
was
out to the
ticking.
area.
Her clock was ticking, and his never stopped.
Wow.
And
that
then
baby probably came out looking like Benjamin Button. Let me stop. I don't talk about kids, y'all. I promise.
Oh my God! And you better quit and talk. You ain't got none. Right?
I'm gonna be a great stepmom one day.
That's when you just say to baby, that's a cute outfit.
Outfit. We gonna compliment the outfit. And then y'all know Ron Isley, of course. Like he had.
Daddy.
He is. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna leave it at he is daddy. But y'all know Ron Isley had a child when he was like 67 years old with his girlfriend who was maybe about 32 at the time. So this kid's like 14 years old now.
That thing's still thinking too.
Mm-hmm. So he about 80 now. She 46 and they got a 14-year-old.
How do you keep up with these kids?
Who gonna raise these kids?
Okay.
That part.
They wealthy. They gonna be fine.
Something, yeah.
But how do you build a relationship with parents who ain't here? You know, what that look like? I mean, how responsible is that?
Well, see, my take on it is, because I get what you're saying about them not being here possibly. Yeah. But it's some younger ones that ain't here either. So it's kind of like same
my
difference.
point. Like
somebody else gonna raise them.
How differently would your life have been without your parents? I mean, there are probably some of us up here who can actually answer that question. But parents are a very important part of our lives. You know, we got aunties and we got cousins and we got, you know, people who actually step in to fill those roles, godparents and everything. But listen, it ain't nothing like your own mama and daddy.
I think it's a little selfish sometimes to just want to make a child knowing you won't be here for them. And on the flip side, I remember in middle school, there was a boy, I won't say his name. His dad was very, very, very old. And we used to make fun of him all the time. Like, your granddaddy is here to come get you. And he'd be like, it's my dad. And we'd like, it's your granddaddy. And he looked like a granddaddy during that time. And it was so messed up how much he got bullied because his granddaddy was actually his daddy.
Yeah. So anyway, that being said, let's transition to peaks from last week.
So we do have a couple of dope peaks, but starting off on a more so emotional note. I feel safe to say on behalf of the Every Woman show, our condolences and rest in peace to former Wildin' Out beauty, Miss Jackie O. She was recently found on May 31st inside of a Miami hotel room, unresponsive after having a mommy makeover. There has been a lot of speculations on what's going on with Miss Jackie O. She is the partner of DC Young Fly, and they have 3 children together. And she went and had a mommy makeover. And, she was recently in an interview, and she had asked, why'd she get the makeover? And she just said, I looked in the mirror, and she was unhappy with her stomach. And just in case anybody doesn't know, a mommy makeover usually consists of a breast augmentation, tummy tuck, lipo, and some do have vaginal rejuvenation. It's not said exactly what Miss Jackie O had done, but unfortunately she was found unresponsive in a hotel room. When she was rushed to the hospital, they unfortunately weren't able to revive her. So our deepest condolences goes out to her family, friends, and loved ones. And we're just praying for strength, comfort, and understanding with that entire situation. Speaking of another celebrity who we are, keeping in our thoughts and prayers is Jamie Foxx. But it's a lot of not special, but it's a lot of speculation and rumors around Jamie Foxx. Like the last thing that we heard before now is that he was outside playing pickleball. And I'm like, okay, I don't know what that is, but I figured if he was playing spades, it would have been more truthful. But anyway, y'all know what pickleball is?
I don't
Yes.
know.
What is it?
Like a
We 50-50 with it.
Kinda.
It's like maybe like racquetball, but with your hand or something. Or no, that's handball. But
Who plays that?
continue.
Okay. But there are rumors out that Jamie Foxx now is experiencing blindness and partial, I'm going to say it wrong, partially paralyzed. So, these
Has
are
that been
rumors.
confirmed? Yeah,
No,
okay.
it's rumors and it's all accusations. And we're just hoping here at the Every Woman Show that it's not true, okay? Jamie, show us a video you playing spades or something. We got to know. We got to know what's up with you. And, our prayers go out to the family and the well-being of Jamie Foxx. Yeah. Moving on to Target. Target has always been a target, and now they're a target of LGBTQ protesters. You see what I did there? Right? Yeah. Target is a target. Recently, there's actually a social media influencer by the name of Ethan Smith who went in there and he went on a rampage tearing down signs and displays.
Disgusting. That's devil worship. That's devil worship. That's devil worship.
He tore down displays and everything, and they're protesting. And Target has actually they hit in the bank with them. Target has lost a substantial amount of money.
$9 billion.
$9 billion.
I think it was that they were targeting the kids and the products.
I think
it'll be different if it was for adults who can make their own decisions, but for the kids,
I did see a display. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Lorna. I thought you were going to say something.
No, I was gonna say that. I don't think it's not that they don't support Pride. I think it's the Pride situation targeting children. I think I even saw some bathing suits for little kids that were tuckable, tuckable, and I'm like, what does a kid need to know about tucking anything for? Half of them still wear
I
diapers.
didn't know about the tuckage.
I saw a video of a woman out shopping for her children, and she was in the boys section. It was a lot of pastels, pinks, and everything like that, and she was upset. She was livid. She's like, how am I supposed to shop for my son when they're making the clothes like they're meant for little girls?
Well, remember for the breast cancer awareness movement, which the normal color is pink, it's indicated real men wear pink. So at this point, like, where do we decipher between the two?
Well, here's the deal.
It's the look of the clothes.
Target doesn't even have tuckable underwear for men, tuckable swimsuits for grown men. So why would they have it for the kids?
So one of the things that I heard about that was that they were advertising it towards little people, not necessarily kids. Like that was their comeback, right? But I believe that the CEO
in the kids section, huh?
in the kids section. But I believe though that the CEO has stood 10 toes down on his position on.
He said,
launching,
"I said what I said,"
and he said, "I said what I said."
All
so,
right, and these mamas gonna shop where they want to shop.
I find it very interesting that this particular thing with the clothes geared toward infants and toddlers has really got people in an outrage, and it's sort of being walked back, but not really. And then you have to be very careful when you target the LGBTQ plus community.
Yeah.
And what you say, because they will come and lay down the hammer and cancel you, and we hopefully it would be like Tiffany Haddish, being uncanceled or whatever, like we talked about not too long ago. It's interesting to me that they actually is this much outrage about it, and
you also need to be careful about how you are coming at the kids as well. So
for sure, absolutely, because
speaking of
they don't
careful,
know.
ladies, there was some drama on a flight. South Korea had a flight, and there was a man on the flight who actually opened the flight's door. He opened the airline craft door, and it's crazy. Like, they had to do an emergency landing. Luckily, nobody was hurt. A couple people did have to go to the hospital for breathing issues and things of that matter. But when the man was asked, he's a Korean gentleman, and when he was asked, why did he open the door? Because that was the grand question that everybody just had to know the answer to. And he said that he felt claustrophobic. He felt claustrophobic and wanted to exit the aircraft quickly.
Did he take his seatbelt off though and hop out?
I mean, he had to take the seatbelt off over the door, but
I'm just saying.
So what was he gonna do? Jump out the window?
he opened the emergency exit door, and
So he was the one. It's 3 seats on the exit row. Okay, so he the one sitting in the seat right here, and then somebody in the middle seat, somebody on the aisle. He didn't take his seatbelt off and hop out.
now that I don't know.
I'm
Because
just
he's
saying.
still here
Right.
live, so obviously he didn't.
You feeling claustrophobic? You know what I'm saying?
You
Then
can
you
move
ready
around.
to get out?
My question is, while this man is, trying to get the door
'Cause
open,
it's not
what
easy to
are
open.
these 2 people next to
Exactly.
him? Why are they not up
Where's
rushing
the air
him?
marshal?
Exactly.
Like, it had to take a minute for him to figure out how to open that door. What was they doing?
Like,
Just
nobody
sitting there?
started yelling.
Like,
And not
Say,
only
"Get the
that,
guy."
like movies that had you thinking that as soon as that door opened, everybody
Everybody's flying
getting pulled
out.
out.
Yeah, right. I was definitely surprised to see that everybody was just sitting there calmly, It's
Holding
kinda
on for dear life.
Yeah, hair just blowing in the wind and everything, and I'm just
Listen.
like I was watching it, made me start blinking, like,
that is so crazy.
so
They might have to start checking people's mental stability who sits
Listen,
by that
exit
door.
row. Like, are you
Yeah.
mentally stable to sit in the exit row? Are you going to try and open
I
it?
always agree to sit there because you get more leg room.
For sure.
You do. Yeah, and I'm like, they like, are you willing to help people? I'm like, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get me out first.
I'm a little claustrophobic, but you know what I do? I sit on the aisle, and every now and then I just get up for no reason, and I walk down that middle aisle to just get a little air. I never thought to open up a door.
Right. That just seems like
fly
you're putting
out.
everybody's lives in danger for no reason.
Yes,
Wow.
and that's your peak from last week.
We are let's begin this conversation about tripping, right? Because we all got on our summer favorite outfits, and I don't know about y'all, but I be buying a whole new wardrobe when I'm ready to go on vacation, and because I be wanting to post them pictures,
Yeah.
and let everybody know I was here.
Yes.
I was here. So, what are some popular places that you have seen posted on social media that you want to visit?
The Maldives.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to go there.
What is it about the Maldives?
The water is so beautiful. Like, I want to get a swimsuit the same color as the water, and then I want to get in the water, and then hopefully a turtle swim by me. Like, it's like I had a whole scene planned out and everything. And then even the huts and stuff, like
The overwater
I love that.
bungalows.
So beautiful.
Yes, they
Now,
are.
I
amazing.
did see a video, and it was like, Instagram versus reality.
Yes.
And then when you saw it, like, it was like a jail and stuff. I was like,
Oh
that
my
area looked
God.
like it
No
stank.
way.
it was one of those where the water was crystal clear, but the actual picture, the water is green.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But I believe it's
I still want to go and find out for myself.
The resort part is beautiful, though.
I've always been in love with Santorini, Greece, and one of those like infinity pools outside your own room, and then it overlooks all the little cliffs and things. So colorful.
And then take the picture with the big dress, that long dress.
Yeah. Oh, they do those almost everywhere.
Yeah.
You can schedule that. But I think I want to visit the Iceland. I want to get in the Blue Lagoon.
Okay.
Isn't that where that's at? It's in Iceland, right? Okay.
Get all
Yeah,
muddy.
I want to. Yeah, I want to go there. What about you?
I just want to see some northern lights.
You can do that in Iceland too.
Are we going together?
I mean, say less.
I mean, let's go.
We gonna talk about how we should be tripping next. We might be able to get somebody to plan something.
I always thought a girls trip to Bali would be kind of fun too. That swing.
Yeah.
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 Wait,
that's a
is it
good
the
one.
one that go over the cliff?
It's over the cliff, yeah.
Ooh,
And
I'm
it's
scared.
greenery everywhere. It's
I do
beautiful
have a
forest.
healthy fear of heights.
Me
Really?
too. Me too.
Yeah. What if I slide off
But
the
I
swing
still-
because I
I'm
put
an
on too much
adrenaline
lotion?
junkie. Like, I'll go for
then
it.
don't put the lotion on.
takes
Just
me a
go
minute.
ashy.
My booty can't be ashy. It's never happening.
It's gonna look like a plum. See how a plum look when it's ashy?
Who? What? A plum. Oh,
Yeah,
a plum.
ashy. Yeah.
Did you say,
There's
did you say a
GMO
plum?
juice.
I thought I heard plume.
Yeah.
So, but what trips on social media have inspired you to actually go? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's these travel bloggers have like really blown up.
Yeah.
And they had you wanting to go somewhere everywhere. So, has there been a trip that you've seen on social media that you like, I'm planning that trip. I'm about to go.
Napa Valley, the luxury train ride through.
Yep.
Yes, I want all parts of that.
So, my husband actually planned that trip for me for my 40th birthday. And, that was in 2020. So,
And you just gonna throw him out there like that?
it didn't happen because we couldn't travel. It was COVID.
Yeah. Okay.
So we were scared and we did not go.
Okay.
But it has yet to be rescheduled.
But
honey.
that's one.
I'm waiting.
Hint.
Napa
Right.
Valley.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I agree. Napa.
I definitely want to go to all the turn up places. Like, I want to go to Puerto Rico. I want to go back to Jamaica. I got to go to
Jamaica.
Maldives. I want to go to Hawaii. Like, I need to find me a Robert De Niro.
Girl, I'm not about to play with you.
Interesting fact though, like international tourism is like 80% right now, which is pre-pandemic levels in the first quarter of 2023. Believe it or not. CNN reported that fact.
Yeah.
So we getting back there. And would y'all believe that, and I'm sure you do, because here on the Every Woman Show, we support everything woman.
Yes.
We love you too, man. But 64% of the travelers are female.
I believe that.
Yeah.
So then the other is y'all.
Wow.
I think one of the reasons that is because I've been experiencing this. It seems like every time I go to an island, I fall in love with an island boy, and then he just happens to be like 21 or 23. I think like if I get to a certain age and I don't get married, I'm just gonna island hop. I got one in St. Martin. I got one in St. This one, St. That one, and a lot of women know that, and I see it.
Stella.
You said you got
Yeah, real getting the
Don't
groove
get your
back.
groove
When I
back.
went to Jamaica, I definitely wanted to get that man his visa.
but we never give him a visa.
I wanted to, though.
But when y'all so when y'all travel, when y'all taking these trips, are you like an itinerary person, or do you just find things to do once you get there? Are you someone who likes to plan everything out, or you just let the energy flow?
I'm letting it flow because most of the time I'm there for relaxation and the vacation. So I'm going to make it up as I go.
I need to do both.
Thank you.
Because I want to know what I'm going to do, the fun stuff, so I'm financially and mentally prepared for whatever adventure I'm going to go on, because I like adventurous stuff. But if I find something fun, I'm not going to be like, oh, that's not on an itinerary, I can't do it. Like, I really want to I don't go on vacations to relax. Like, by the time I'm done with that vacation, I need another vacation to relax. Like,
Yeah.
I get that
I'm an
too.
itinerary person because I like to pay for everything up front. So when I get there, if it's
don't
really
have to
no
worry about
expenses. If I pay for something, it's because I just have to. I like to plan and pack my day out because I live in Detroit. So I want to see everything while I'm out there and don't want to miss anything.
exactly.
That's cool. So last question. Do you post while you're on vacation or wait until you get back?
On vacation.
You post on vacation?
I do.
Okay.
You need to have the thrill right along with me. Get into this vibe. We're here. I'm out here. I want you to see this too. Maybe it'll inspire you to go ahead and do the same thing.
Right.
Yeah, I'm sharing.
what
Sharing is
about-
caring.
I'm waiting till I get home because I don't need nobody breaking in my house because they know I'm gone.
That part, right.
See, I'm sorry.
So if
I'm
there's nobody
sorry.
in my house, I'm going to hold off.
All my pictures come as soon as I get back. You know, I'm probably on the plane. Now I'm starting to post. You know,
Still giving them
Yeah.
a window to post or to break in, though.
well, see,
Wait till you land back in Detroit.
okay, I just know that it won't be.
Do it on the car ride home from the
It
airport.
won't be overnight though.
Right.
It won't be overnight. I'll be home in a few hours or
And
something.
I get that because I have friends who like are homeowners or they live in a house and they don't want to post while they're gone because no one's there. But me, I've always either lived in an apartment and it's like a high-rise apartment, so it's not really something people don't even know where I live. I don't have company, and so it's like my circumstance is different.
A little different. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, when we come back, we are going to talk to a flight attendant, a business owner who owns a company that says you should be tripping. So stick with us. We'll be right back.
You do what you gotta do. We do what we wanna do. Everything we doing, 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 everything we doing,
It's summertime and we are ready to hit these streets, whether they are domestic and international. We ready to catch some flights and not feelings. And so we have a special guest here today to tell us why you should be tripping. Welcome Lorna Maston, who is a flight attendant and travel consultant from You Should Be Tripping. How you doing, girl?
Good. How are you?
I am great. Thank you for joining us here on the Every Woman Show.
Thanks for having me.
So you are going to talk to us for the next few minutes about why we should be tripping.
Absolutely.
And how you came up with that. But first, let's start with what is the best method to plan for a vacation?
So it depends on a number of things. Who's going? How many people? The purpose of the trip. So if you have no experience in planning a trip, then you should seek a consultant. Maybe a lot of people use a travel agent. And especially if it's somewhere you've never been, you want to use someone who's familiar with what they have, what resources they have, whatever it is that you're trying to do. So if you're going to Disney, I don't recommend you just showing up at Disney.
Okay.
You should seek out something for some deals, see where the best place is to travel or to stay rather, just to kind of get some discounts because there's always discounts and perks and stuff like that. So if you're doing a solo thing, that may require a lot more research. Safety is very pivotal, very key. I always tell people if you're going to go on an adventure by yourself, someone should have your location. This is so funny because my mom, she'd be like, just send it to me. I'll be like, ugh. I'm going to use somebody else. You know what I'm saying? But somebody will have it. Because, family is a little different. But
I'm guessing you got an iPhone and you be sharing your location.
Absolutely.
It's a whole thing. It's
Definitely.
It's
definitely a thing. So someone should definitely have your location. And it's just, there's a number of things. So depending on what type of trip or girls' trips will be different than a couple's trip. Will be different than a family trip. So it really depends on how in-depth, you're trying to go. Some people go to relax. They have no desire to do anything other than relax.
Yeah.
So that type of person, they're probably looking for more of a luxury hotel or lodging or accommodations. And then if you got somewhere, you got small kids, you want to do something with perhaps a kitchen. You know what I mean? To where you can utilize those resources.
Because kids be picky with what they want to eat.
You know what I mean? And a bowl of cereal will take you a very long way.
Yes.
The Hampton Inn, those type of hotels offer free breakfast. So it just really depends on what type of trip you are actually trying to take.
So you mentioned that you are a travel consultant.
Yes.
And then there's also travel agents. Like, what is the primary difference between the two?
So the travel agency, there's usually some type of MLM involved in it.
I was just about to say
multi-level marketing.
Okay, all right.
And I'm so sorry. So consultant, we kind of do more of we're independent. So I don't have a boss that I call or I consult with or I talk to. I'm solely independent. So one of the things we do at You Should Be Tripping, we do a couple things. One, we plan and host trips. I will plan out the entire trip, all of the details. I will tell you where to go, all of that. You come on the trip that I have prepared. You just pay whatever the amount is.
I like that.
You show up and it's done.
Yeah.
All right.
You put a limit on how many people can go on each trip.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Because we were talking and you said the next trip is planned somewhere. And I'm like, so just give me a heads up. Because her trips sell out, y'all.
Fast. So this year, last year I posted, we were going to Bali this year. And it sold out in 48 hours.
Oh, wow.
18 spots gone. And so it's like, I try not to I do maybe 3 or 4 trips a year, but all the trips this year have sold out already. So now we're looking at our 2024 calendar. We'll do a cabin trip in February. The girls trip we were talking about is to Peru. And so what I typically do is, I think you should join us.
I think I should too.
You should be tripping.
I think you should join us. So what I usually do when I'm planning trips is I find the lodging, the house I want to be in first. Okay. So you got hotels versus Airbnbs. The thing with hotels is they got quiet hours. You have to comply. There's you can't just be in the lobby area. There's certain requirements and rules you have to follow.
And you know all of this because you are a flight attendant and you've traveled for how many years now?
This is my 7th year being a flight attendant.
Right. 7 was coming to mind. And so you've had some experience over these 7 years of what some of these rules are and some of these different places you visited.
Absolutely. A we call them crew hotels or hotels that the crew stay in. It could be close to the hotel or it could be in the downtown area, depending on the layover. You can't be loud after 10 o'clock. You know what I mean? And then hotels risk losing their contracts if guests are loud. So
Contracts with the airline?
correct.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? So
They need the rest.
it's a thing. You know what I mean? It's definitely a thing. Now, I choose Airbnbs because one, there's, you know, I am a game night professional. We have to, that's usually how I open the trip. We get there, everybody done travel, whether near or far. We start with the games as an icebreaker so nobody, you know, you can kind of decompress a little bit, but it's definitely time to get the party started.
I love that.
It has to have a nice kitchen because oftentimes a chef will travel with us. We'll use the chef in the local area to still provide a nice meal, but you don't have to go anywhere. So, you know, a pool is usually some type of requirement depending on where we are. So there's a number of things
that factor in. Have you ever considered scaling it? Like, I know this is your first year because I was invited to your launch party when you did that last year, right? And now that, you know, like the last trip you said it was, or the last trip that sold out, it was 18 spots and they sold out in 48 hours. Have you considered scaling it so that, you know, more people can participate, or do you keep it small intentionally?
So I like the small group. One, I want to always be manageable. I don't want you to come and then we've never had a conversation. We didn't kick it. There was no moment. You know, there was none of that.
Right.
So if I'm going to do a very large trip or limited trip, we can go to Cedar Point. You know what I mean? I will, you know, one of the things we look to do is rent out theaters. So for family days or for movies that are coming out or some things like that. But I want to try, I provide luxury experiences. So you got to be quick.
Like that Croatia yacht week trip, right?
Now,
So I was about to say, so I got a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So what's the most out-of-box adventure you've ever taken clients on?
Okay, so skydiving. I am I've recently discovered this about myself. I'm like an adrenaline junkie. Yes. I'm like, I gotta die a little bit, but don't really die.
Yeah, just almost.
Like you gotta think about it. Like, is my life insurance updated? You know what I'm saying? Like, so this past couple weeks ago, our girl trip was to Colorado Springs. Something definitely different for several of the ladies because when you think vacation, most people think beach, laid out, sun, tan.
Yeah.
We were in Colorado with mountains, with deer, with moths,
with nature,
nature, with the rain. The rain did meet us there, and so we had several things that we had planned. But one of the things, this is that piece of adrenaline, is we did the sky coaster. So what they do is it's three of us. You can go single, you can go two, you can go three. They strapped us together, pulled us back about 300 feet in the air, and then, like, I had to pull the cord. One person had to pull the cord. They're arguing, like, I ain't pulling the cord. And I'm like, well, I got to be one of the ones to pull the cord. So you pull the cord, and you're literally, it's like you're flying over this cliff. You see nothing but rocks.
I just died a little bit listening to that.
I'm telling you. So
I'm all like,
when you watch the footage of the video, the emotions some of the girls went through in 30 seconds are the most hilarious memories they'll ever have.
Why are we going up so high?
I love that.
And so it's like creating those very unique moments and experiences you would have never done nowhere else. We rode it's called a gondola all over to the other side. And when you look out, it's like, this is amazing. Like, other people come from other countries to come experience a lot of what we have here.
In the United States.
In the United States.
Yes.
So when you're out of town, like out the country, do you find it more like exciting to like venture off the
resort?
The resort.
So it depends on where we are, and it depends on who's with me. So if it's just me, I will do a little venturing off. I don't mind that because it's just me. I'm not going to take 15 people to venture off. because that could lead to something potentially disastrous. So I'll use Mexico for example. Mexico is like home for me. I go 3-4 times a year.
You a Blaxican?
I'm a Blaxican. I stay in the same resort. The people know me because it's been so many years. Like I go, if I need 48 hours to get away, that's where I go. Well, most people that find some trouble in Mexico, they went looking for it, and then they found what they were looking for.
Right, that's my
That's what I'm
thing.
looking
mess
for.
around.
Yeah.
What would you consider like international travel, like do's and don'ts?
Okay, so there's a number of do's and don'ts. The first thing I tell everybody, and for whatever reason this is not discussed, exchange your money with your bank before you leave the United States.
Okay.
It is a ginormous savings. So your bank may give you $25, 25 pesos per American dollar. But when you get over to Mexico, they're going to give you $14 or $15 in pesos for your $1 American dollar.
Oh,
So
okay.
huge.
That's good information.
Absolutely.
Very.
Always exchange your money. And I remember we went to Jamaica last year and very unique experience. We got there. We had already, of course, exchanged our money because I knew better. My boyfriend at the time, he was just like, do we have to do this? I was like, yeah, we do, before we go. We get there. Of course, there was a ATM in the airport, but we stayed at, I probably shouldn't say the resort, but this particular resort did not have an ATM. There was no ATM. And then in Jamaica specifically, they kind of build the resort so you can't leave. Like you should not leave.
Yeah.
And so, and then they really don't want you kind of tipping the guests either.
Yeah.
Tipping the butlers.
You
and
can't tip them.
Yeah. And so that's one of the reasons why I would never return to this particular place. Because I'm just that person. I'm going to give you, if you looked out or you done,
right.
like I'm, especially people of service. But I think that's one of the reasons why they did not have an ATM, because they did not want people going to get money out of the ATM to give
to the folks who work
to
at
the people
resort.
that work there.
So talking about money, how can you travel on a budget?
Okay.
So you may have like, it's either going to be an expensive trip, which expense is relative to your pockets. But how can you travel on a budget? What's the best way?
So one thing I always tell everybody is look up free things to do wherever you're going. There's always things to do. So we probably are not fanatics about the river walk, right? Because we're used to it. We've been here. It's not new to us. But someone who's from out of town who loves looking at water, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who enjoys that type of scene would love to go downtown, ride the queue line. That may be $2.
It's actually free.
Or free. Right. And then, take advantage of stuff like that. So I always tell people certain places. I went over to Ireland and all their museums were free.
Oh, nice.
All of the museums were free. That was my first and only solo trip, because when people find out I'm traveling, they jump on. I mean, my dad, it don't matter. Like if somebody catch wind that I'm going somewhere, they'll hop on. But yes, so Ireland, all the museums were free. Botanical gardens, depending on what you're trying to do, always look up free things to do.
I like free 99.
I mean, you can't really get better than that. That makes every trip affordable.
Yeah.
If you're trying to save hole in the wall spots. So depending on the type of eating you're trying to do, if you eat like the locals and you're going to second and third world countries, those things are very expensive. So this year we're going to Bali. They say it's impossible for you to spend $100 a day.
Ooh,
impossible.
I like
so
Bali.
the average meal.
Are you going to test that possibility?
Absolutely. Because I'm
and she's going to report back here to the
Absolutely.
Every Woman show.
So the average meal may cost $3 or $4.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
In America. You know what I'm saying? So you got to kind of do your research, eat at the hole in the wall spots, depending on where you go. Negotiation is key. And doing my research with Bali, looking at other bloggers, travel people, they expect you to negotiate whatever the price is. So here in America, it's like, nah, the price is what it is. But in other countries, the price is not apparently what it is. Okay. You know what I mean? You can negotiate. Hey, if I find a travel guide, let's just say on Airbnb experiences, and they charge $55 per person, and I have a group of 20, I'm sure you could do it for 30.
Yeah.
I'm most certainly sure that you could do it for $30 per person. So definitely doing things. Search great happy hours. I am not necessarily an avid drinker, but what I found out in my experience in Las Vegas is the restaurants that I absolutely love have the best happy hours. I mean, sliders and fries, $7, but the dinner meal is $60.
Yep.
So look for happy hours, especially late happy hours. They'll be able to get you some deals, some discounts.
We love happy hour.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
Yes.
So tell me this, mentally, what is the importance of getting away?
Oh, there's so many.
Come on, lay them down.
So many. Okay, I'm going to read a couple of statistics. The American Psychological Association concluded that vacations reduce stress, and removing people from activities and environments they associate with stress can cut your risk of having a heart attack. Researchers also concluded that taking regular vacations can reduce the risk of health issues, including high blood pressure, high blood sugar, excess belly fat, and abnormal cholesterol levels. All these symptoms raise the risk of heart disease, stroke, and type 2 diabetes.
I'm gonna tell people I'm fat because I don't take enough vacations.
I mean,
It's a trip.
you have a valid source.
Yes.
So you absolutely, most of the time people think they have to go very far
Right.
to take a trip.
I'm glad you brought that up because the last question I want to ask, and then I know you have something special for the ladies.
Absolutely.
But how close to home where you live can a great vacation be?
An hour. One of my favorite places to go when I need to relax is Mommy Bay Beach in Ohio. The water just looks like a tropical beach. I take a picnic basket, a blanket, I make a sandwich, or I get my favorite carry-out. I drive 43 minutes, and then I lay out as if I'm in another country.
Mommy baby.
Mommy Bay Beach.
Mommy Bay Beach.
You don't have to go far. The key, though, is to just change your surroundings.
Yeah.
Put your phone on D&D, airplane mode. Take a deep breath, look at some water, people watch, because who can go wrong with that?
That's
right. Okay.
Well, I see you brought something for us.
I did. I brought
what we
some
got here?
goodies.
Yeah.
I brought some goodies.
Thank you.
Okay, do we look at the same time? Because I was about to dig into the bag.
So we can, and I'll kind of briefly walk you through what's in the bag. So we've been working on a luggage line.
So
and
say
so
when.
you can go ahead.
Okay.
These are some of the items that will be available on the website. So you have your I'm dreaming about the next trip eye mask when you're traveling. These are what we would consider some travel essentials.
Okay.
Oh, I'll need this.
You will
coming
absolutely
up
need
this
that.
weekend.
Absolutely. We also have a
Dreaming
shoe
about
bag.
that.
So when you're traveling, I am a book bagger. It's been about 5 years since I've actually taken any bag with wheels on it. So you need a shoe bag, to protect your clothes from your shoes. And it's a couple more things in there at the bottom.
Okay.
Oh, this is
All right.
adorable.
Now, this is my favorite. This is one of my favorite things that we're releasing. One of the hardest things to do is when you're traveling is travel with your favorite scent. So, this is a refillable perfume.
I love this.
Little thinky.
Spray bottle.
Spray bottle. You
cute.
take off the top.
And you don't have to take your whole big bottle.
You don't.
with you.
Because they will make you throw it out
They
if you
will
try to bring
absolutely.
that.
This is
I
adorable.
promise you, I always wanted one of these. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I have a
Oh,
couple
this
of these.
is
I
so
like
nice.
this.
So all you do is you attach it to your actual full-size bottle and
Yep.
you pump it
And you fill it up.
and it fills it up for you. And then we got
Nice.
we got a compass.
Look, that's what I said was adorable.
You know what? Because this is really good because I don't know north, south, east, or west when I'm outside of my hometown.
You need
so.
it.
And then we got our You Should Be Tripping.
And then you have
And you can put this right on your keychain too.
Yep.
That's nice.
Well, Lorna, thank you so much for
thank
joining
you.
us. This has all been valuable discussion and information. Look into the camera with the red light and tell everyone exactly where they can find you on social media.
Okay, you can follow us at You Should Be Trippin' on Instagram as well as Facebook. My personal is at LT Maston. The website is www.youshouldbetrippin.com. So subscribe so you could be abreast on all the upcoming trips because once they're posted, they go quick and we want you to be a part of the journey.
Thank you again for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
We'll have to have you back for like an annual segment on where we should be tripping to.
Absolutely.
Next, when we come back, we're going to talk about those horror stories like who be tripping when we should be tripping.
Okay.
We'll be right back.
Hey, has this been your podcast studio experience? Has the location been less than favorable?
I can't do this.
Come to Evry Media, where quality matters, located in Royal Oak, Michigan. Visit evry.media.
Welcome back to the Every
That's
Woman Show.
EVRY.media.
Who be tripping? When we be going on these trips, who be tripping? So listen, we're going to talk about some trip horror stories and just trips that never happened and the family vacations, and let's just get into it, because we all know we've had those vacations that were either planned and didn't happen or executed flawlessly, but somebody on the trip was always tripping. All right, so can you think of one experience where it was like the worst trip experience that you've ever had? What's yours?
Went to Vegas with a group of friends, and I am trying to get it on the dance floor with everybody that does not look like me. A brother from Detroit was pissed off that I was dancing with someone of a different nationality, and he was very vocal about it. I got called out of my name. I slapped his drink to the ceiling, and then I disappeared and retreated back to my hotel.
The nerve of him.
Yes.
Right.
Horrible.
What was his, why he's so disturbed? I mean, I know we don't know the answer to that question, but he tripping.
Yes.
He tripping.
That was the worst.
Who else got a horror story from it? Do you have one?
Unfortunately, I can't lie. When I have not had really too
And that's
many
a good
horrible
thing.
trips. I mean, because I'm going to have a good time. I don't know what everybody else doing. When everybody else is going off, they having issues, I'm one of those, I can go off on my own and do my own thing.
It's giving, I drank a Monster energy. I'm not thinking about
Yes.
these people.
Point me in the direction of the mall, and I'll catch up with y'all later.
Okay.
Yeah. So
right.
Well, I'm not going to say the specific trip, but I went on a trip one time, and I'm a real spontaneous person, and I like to really just let the energy flow. Like, we can plan a couple of things, but not every freaking minute of my vacation.
Yeah.
And I took this trip with a group of women, and everything was planned down to where we having breakfast, where we going between breakfast and lunch, where we having lunch, where we doing between lunch and dinner, where we meeting for dinner. And I was just like, I'm not coming ever again on this type of trip. Because it really ruined the experience for me to have such a rigid schedule, and I'm supposed to be on vacation. And it was my first time in this particular place. So I ain't like it.
You couldn't just sit out some of the stuff? I'll catch
listen,
up with y'all on the next one.
I have learned the power of no as a result.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a whole sentence with a full period at the end.
I would have liked to know that she wasn't down for the full cause before you agreed to come on the trip.
But I didn't know that was going to be the situation either. So I would have liked to know that was going to be the situation before I arrived
send
on
out
the trip.
itineraries before and just to let y'all know.
I went to Atlanta for my birthday, and I don't want to say it was a horrible trip because I actually had a blast. Like, I had so much fun. But we might have had too much fun, and it turned into a hangover moment. And we woke up the next day where's the car?
Oh, no.
And we had a Turo, so we lost the car that wasn't even ours.
So you never found it?
We found it. It got towed, and when we realized this happened, it was time to go. So we ended up, my cousin had drove her car down there. So we dropped one of my friends off at the airport, and then me and my other cousin had to stay an extra night in Atlanta because we had to go and get the car out of impound and let the people who we got the Turo from know. They had to drive an hour to us because they wouldn't let us get the car out because it technically wasn't ours. And we ended up just going to the sugar factory. It was my actual birthday by then, and we ate, got another hotel room, and went home the next day.
So how much did Turo charge y'all for that whole expense?
He actually said he wasn't going to charge us because we had to pay the $200
for the impound
to get out the impound. But then later on, my cousin, because she the one who got the Turo, he tried to charge us a cleaning fee, and that was $100. But she fought it because she had pictures the car actually was clean. So that was really it. But she paid the toll because she's the one. She ended up parking in a spot that wasn't ours, and they had strict parking rules.
So have y'all ever in years past, there's been a lot of conversation about group trips and, you know, we planned this whole thing out and now it's time to start making payments and don't nobody make no payments, right? Have you ever planned a group trip that never happened? And then if you had already planned it out, which it sounds like you are the itinerary type person, do you still go on the trip if nobody else pays that you've already planned?
Yes. We just leave the people who beat us. I mean, you already know what time it is when it's time to put the deposit down. When I plan a trip, it's personally like I want to go. So if you end up not going, I wasn't going just because y'all was going. I was going because this is where I wanted to go.
Yeah,
so I'll send you some pictures. But I don't take it personal. A lot of people got stuff going on and they want to and things happen. But
so when you plan that trip, obviously it's not like our like Lorna said, it's not in an Airbnb where everybody got to pay their part in order for this to happen. It's book your room. This is how much it's gonna be. Boom, boom, boom.
I think the only time, so I'll usually do something where it's like, hey, y'all, this is what I'm doing. Y'all could do the same thing.
Here's that.
This is my room. I got this suite, you know. But I did plan my sister's bachelorette party. This is surprising, I'm going to tell y'all, because my friends, not the same. She had like 12 friends. All of her friends paid. All of her friends showed up. All of her friends were there. I was like, girl, you really are blessed because when people plan these group trips, we had penthouses in Vegas. Everybody paid their part. I didn't have to pay anything extra. We had our pool parties in Vegas. I mean, you know, all that stuff costs and you are held accountable if everybody else decides they don't want to go. That's thousands of dollars out of my pocket. And just, it was a blessing that every single person did their part and did everything they were supposed to do. All the restaurants, everything.
Listen, there was one time when me and my cousins, we had a meeting about it. We sat down at a table and we were like, we gonna rent this mansion. We gonna go to this destination. It's gonna cost every couple X amount of dollars. Like we sat down, had this conversation. I'll never forget at my sister's house in her dining room table. And that trip never happened. And I was a little disappointed because we went on a cousin's trip once, but it was similar to the way you had said it was planned. And we had the best freaking time. Like everybody was responsible for their own room, you know, transportation, all of that, and it worked out good. Yeah. So either you showed up or you didn't. But when we tried to plan something in one big house, it just never happened. I was so disappointed. Yeah. I really wanted to take a trip.
I will say too, one thing about traveling with groups, since it's just like our guest speaker said, how she's been around, she's seen stuff, she knows how stuff costs. I already know in certain places, Uber is cheaper. If you're trying to get up and down the South Beach, Uber. If you're trying to do this, you pay this, pay that. And then the friends over here trying to figure it out, I will quickly grab my ride, meet y'all there, let me know when y'all figure it out, like that type of deal. Like stuff like that, you know, where people just, $50. It's like, listen, whoever want to ride with me, I'm going to meet y'all there. That type of stuff happens, but...
So listen, we've all been in relationships and I mean, you know, I'm sure we've all taken a trip at some point in our life with a partner, a significant other or whatever. So if you beefed out before y'all go on this trip, what are you doing or are you trying to resolve the beef so that you can have a pleasant vacation or no?
Yes.
Yeah, he gonna want somebody in the night anyway. He gonna be cool. Like, he gonna act right so he can get the act right.
Exactly. Have a margarita. Cheer up.
So the fact is that we are quicker to resolve the issues before we get on the flight.
Yes.
Because we want to have a good time.
We want to have a good time.
Okay, explanation point.
Okay. She's gonna make this a thing.
I'm gonna make this a thing. All right, what about family vacations? Like, is it a Johnson family vacation? Are we there yet? Or a Very Brady sequel?
Oh my God.
Have y'all done the family vacations?
Yeah.
I mean, I know we've all had the family reunion vacations. Listen, I'll tell y'all a story. So one time, I think it was when my second child was born and I was trying to, you know, nurse him at the time. Our family had a vacation down in Tennessee. And we caravanned. I mean, we had walkie-talkies. So, you know, this was before technology and chirps and iPhones and instant messages. We had walkie-talkies in the front car and the back car, whatever. And it was a whole caravan of us. These jokers was going like 90, 95 miles an hour down 75. And my husband was like, I'm done. We'll find them. We'll catch up with them. With my children in the car, I'm not driving that fast. That's just ridiculous. Especially when I took the baby out the car seat and tried to nurse. It's like, all right, I got my baby not secured in this car. We not doing 95. But, you know, all in all, the family vacation was still a It was great.
Yeah, we actually went to Tennessee too. We were in Gatlinburg, and we had a cabin, and we had a semi itinerary that was flexible. So we went and rode the ATVs. We went out to eat, and our day was so happy. I chose the place to eat. It was so good. Anyway, it was a good vacation. Like, but anything my family does, they like, who got the bottles? So, we had our bottles, and then between me and my cousin Gina, like. We cooked, and so we had breakfast and stuff. We went grocery shopping. It was dope. I loved it.
Yeah, we do. As long as I got a minivan and I could pop a DVD in and just throw the snacks back there. I mean, we do our road trips. But I think we had the best time when my son, for the first time, took him to Florida, to Miami.
Is this the Zion or?
No, Zion had to stay home because he was going to ruin our time. But it was the big boy's time. No, seriously, this was a big boy moment. Once the other kid comes, it ruins it for the big kid. So this was big kid time. So they got on boats, they got on parasail. They got to do things that if the baby was there, we'd have to sit there with him the whole time. So.
Okay. One thing I didn't mention was like couples trips where you plan trips with other couples. Mm-hmm. Have y'all done that before?
No.
I have.
No.
I don't know.
It sounds like a great idea.
So I wasn't responsible for planning. So me and my husband like to do a lot of things with other couples, right? It's important to be in fellowship with people who are like-minded in relationship. Yes. Mm-hmm. And so there's this group of couples that we travel with, and we did the Gatlinburg, cabin, but we all stayed in the same place. Everybody paid their money, no issues, nothing. And I don't know. I don't remember what headspace I was in at the time, but I kind of wasn't looking forward to the trip at one point in time. And I messed around and sent that in the group chat.
What did you say exactly?
I'm really not looking forward to this trip. I did. I said that. But I went on the trip. And then one of them was like, well, why, Tam? And I felt so bad. I just didn't respond anymore. So I don't know if they're ever going to watch this show, but, I love y'all. We still do a couple things together, and it's so fun. I don't remember what headspace I went. We had a great time on the trip. Mm-hmm. And, yeah. I think it was because, so y'all know, I ain't got no hair, right? What?
Oh, my God.
Yeah, you ain't no girl. Yeah. And I had to share a bathroom with a couple that I wasn't really, familiar with. This was the real issue, y'all. I think this is why I said that. And I'm like, I don't really know them. Long story short, that couple ended up not going, so we had our own bathroom. Okay. But I don't like hair in the bathroom.
Oh yeah,
and
that's understandable.
Okay, so I'm like, and then I got to share a bathroom with a couple I don't know, and then all the other couples. The one couple that I did though, I'd shared a bathroom with them because they're my peoples. We done had a house together before on vacation.
I don't really like sharing bathrums with people either.
Not on vacation. Especially when you don't have to.
Yeah. I think it was just the fact that I didn't get the option I didn't get the option to choose.
They gave you that housewife treatment.
Yeah, where the last housewife that come in. Share a bathroom with somebody. I was like fourth string, you know what I'm saying? But it's all good. We had a great time.
You had to do the bunk beds.
I stay in the bathroom a lot, and I don't want to get rushed out of it.
Is that TMI?
That's fair.
Yeah, but it's okay. It's you get to know us better.
Okay.
All right. So then lastly, for all my single ladies, I don't know how many of y'all that is actually, but do you let someone fly you out that you're not interested in?
No. Absolutely not.
Why would you
why not?
Because he might want a down payment, and I ain't trying to give him a down payment. Okay.
His expectations.
I can't even sit in front of for a dinner with somebody that I'm not into, let alone a vacation. Okay. Yeah. Like how do I survive? What am I supposed to do?
So you never done it?
No.
But you're gonna want to touch me, and then I'm gonna have.
Well, what if we set expectations ahead of time?
No, we still gotta sit across them and look at them the whole time.
You are doing this for me as a friend, or are you expecting something in return?
So I got my own room.
Is he lying? If he be like, no, I don't want nothing in return.
Yes, he could definitely be
lying. Well, that means that you've already got your return ticket.
That
you've already got your hotel room paid for. I mean,
in my name
those
too.
things will have to definitely be
exactly.
So you don't get stuck.
So you don't get stuck.
I don't want to be kicked out of
nothing.
Like I need things in my name.
Okay, because there was this horror story once upon a time, several years ago, where a girl got flued out and something had happened to her and the man's on the trip, and he left her stranded there, and she had to get like this $1,500 ticket to get back home because he did not buy her return flight. Like, who buys a trip without a return flight?
I wouldn't have left without a return flight.
I think he did it on purpose. He's
It's very possible.
Exactly.
It's very possible.
Very unfortunate.
It is very possible. Well, listen, I cannot wait to hit these flights, catch these flights and not these feelings this summer, ladies. I got, I think, 2 trips for sure planned. And then in June, July, beginning of August, I'm trying to figure out where are we going on the weekends, some long weekends. But I'm looking forward to my vacation at the end of August. Me and my husband are going to be celebrating our 20th anniversary.
Oh, congratulations.
Mary Jane easy. But it's worth
worth it.
Yes. And so we're taking a week-long vacation to Jamaica. And then I have a cruise with my girlfriends. It's another week long. I'm like, y'all, I didn't know this trip was a whole week.
A week on a cruise?
On a cruise. I'm like, oh my God.
That's a good time.
But we're going to have a good time. We're going to have a good time. What y'all got planned coming up?
I'm going to Cancun this weekend.
Hey, look like you're ready now.
That's right. I already got I'm ready to get on the airport right now. You know, I got my little favorite stuff that I like to take.
Now show us how you pack. How you pack
first of
how
all,
you pack a carry-on?
You got to have your fanny pack. Number one.
That is a
okay.
must.
The fanny pack
is a
is
must.
like a must. Okay. And my other thing that I love, because I wear glasses in real life. Okay. And this is my favorite new thing that I got for packing. And this is for all of my glasses. And that way I don't need 100 different things for my cases. So it just makes, because normally, and I just got this. So this is like my favorite new travel accessory.
compact.
Because normally I have like 8 different glass cases or whatever. And they're everywhere. So it's like, I know where my glasses are.
It looks like a little purse.
It
Yes. And then my other favorite thing is making sure that I have my little itinerary. So it's all together, okay?
And your
So
passport is
I
in
got my
there.
passport, I have my travel itinerary hookup, I have business cards, because you never know who you're going to run into the airport.
You are ready.
And then I never like to have money anywhere but on my body.
Okay.
So I know that I got my money, because you have to tip the people, okay?
Yep, we talked about it.
So all my tip money is just, everything is right here ready to go.
All
Yeah.
right.
Like that.
Well,
Stay ready. You
listen,
ain't gotta get ready.
here at the Every Woman Show, we encourage that you should be tripping, right, ladies?
That's
Yes.
right.
And we are planning our trips and getting ready for this summer season. We gonna be out here in these streets catching flights. So we'll see y'all soon. Peace.
I go with a friend to Atlanta for a music conference, right? And I end up meeting somebody that was like, come to Stank On Your Studios the next day.
Stank on ya.
I'm supposed to leave the next
Out
day.
there.
Yeah.
So I told homie, I'm going to stay. You know what I'm saying? He's like, oh, I'm going to stay too. And I was like, all right. But I was going to get a cheaper room. He's like, let's stay in this suite. And I was like, no, I'm not staying in the suite. It costs too much. Yeah. And so we got into an argument about it. Because he had already just booked the suite. And I was like, I'm about to go to this other hotel. No, I'm not doing that. So we get into a super argument. And I'm like, nigga, you can just leave. He was like, oh, yeah. Vroom, and left. And I was like, damn.
Got you.
Left my ass.